Let's finish off the last few shaylas that we have, Legabe Koreya, Be'ezus Hashem. So let's go through some of the questions that we have left out, and let's finish off the sugya. Let's talk about toilet paper, okay? One of the most famous shaylas in Koreya is toilet paper. Why? Because toilet paper is something that's on a roll, it's got perforated lines, and you need to rip it. Not only do you need to rip it, but there is a constructive purpose, because you are using the toilet paper which you rip for usage, which is Amanas Lataka, which we've spoken about many, many times. So, the shayla of toilet paper was actually posed to the Chalkas Yankiv. It's a Tshuva Ne'Ochayin Sem Kuf Samach Dalet. If you have if there is no pre-cut toilet paper in the bathroom, is a person allowed to use some of the toilet paper on Shabbos? Again, he's not talking about lachatchila, he's talking about a situation where you get there, the door is closed, you're stuck, and there's no pre-cut tissues. Now you're stuck, what do you do now? Can you use a piece of toilet paper or not? That is the shayla. What was his havamina? Listen, it's actually a very interesting havamina. The Maisa, we can speak lomdus about this all day. It's a beautiful svara. Perforated lines means what? Right? And if you take a piece of toilet paper and I guess stretch it a bit so you can see what's going on, yeah? So you would see what the Gemara in Eruvin discusses, that if you have an Eruv and you have a fence going around a certain place, but you don't have a full fence, right? It's not Donald Trump's border. This is just a fence which is made of pieces, which we know in Hilchas Eruvin works as long as there's roiv fence, then space, then airspace. You understand what I mean? Right? Omid Meruba La Poretz, I'm not going to go through the sugi now. You understand what I mean? In other words, in Hilchas Eruvin, and we have the same thing in Hilchas Sukkah, that if you have pieces of wall, fence, whatever it may be, in Israel, Serugim, same thing, even though you've got airspace, as long as you've got roiv wall, then you're okay. Is everybody with me? You understand what I'm talking about? Do I make myself clear? That's because of the different story. Talk about the mitzdarif. Oh right, but that's what's different because it's gimel tfachim, so that's already different sugar. Like mitzdarif. But I'm talking about a case where I'm making an eruv and I have roiv wall more than airspace. Right? That works. Am I making sense? It makes sense, right? If you have the other way around, they have more airspace than wall, that's not good. Listen to the shayla that Chalkas Yaakov said. He said, think about a piece of toilet paper. I don't know how many people actually thought about this, but it's good to think about it because the Chalkas Yaakov did. And you take a piece of toilet paper and you again, like I said, stretch it a bit, just so you could see what's happening over there. You'll see that there's more airspace than non-airspace. So if that's the case, ask the Chalkas Yaakov, it's basically detached. Basically, halachically, it's detached already. What am I doing already? It's an interesting shayla. Very interesting havamina. It's basically detached because there's more airspace than connected pieces of toilet paper one to the other. You understand what I'm saying, right? You get it? Okay. I didn't say, did you like it? Did you get it? Okay. Now, the Chalkas Yaakov says, Lamaisa, this is not considered to be a heta. You can't use a heta for that over there. But he wants to use another heta which we mentioned previously, and that is the Shulchan Aruch Harav, the Balatanya, the Graz, that holds that there's no problem with paper, because it's one guf, which is obviously going to be different nowadays, because you can't say toilet paper is one guf, it's many different pieces that have been mitzdarif, that have been combined together, so that's very, very shver. So al koponim, we pashtas have a shayla of Koreya, we have another shayla. What's the second shayla with toilet paper? Machatich. What's machatich? Precise cutting, okay? So precise cutting would be another shayla. So let's start number one. Most poskim hold that tearing toilet paper is an issa, pashtus, even a doraisa of Koreya, zoi paskin lemaisa of Elyashiv zatzal, of Nissen Karelet zatzal, and Chodshon, the Shmir Shabbos, the Tzitz Eliezer, the Yalkut Yosef, Oznidbru, so the Yeshurin, many gedolei poskim that held that way, and therefore you have to be careful. Now, machatich, many gedolim held that it's an issa of machatich over here. As I pass on the Shmir Shabbos, Rav Elyashiv, Tzitz Eliezer, Rav Nissen Kaveretz. Why? Because it's precise cutting. When I cut it on the perforated lines, I have a precise cutting. That's machatich. Others want a taina no. Others want a taina, right? For example, the Shulchan of Chaim Noah, Shlomo Zalman goes with this mahalach. He says, do you need the toilet paper to be that specific size? Not really. Does it bother you if it's a bit more? Does it bother you if it's a bit less? Not really. When you're I'll give you an example. When you take a yogurt, and you snap it, Does it bother you if it slightly goes that way? Absolutely, because it's going to hit the other. It's going to hit the other one. It's going to open it. Or let's say you open a can of Coke, right? So you open up the can of Coke and you've got that sort of pre-made line over there. Does it bother you if it doesn't exactly go over the line? It's a little bit extra, a bit more. It's going to cut your lip. The airspace there isn't going to go in, which means the liquid's not going to come out. There it bothers you. There it makes enough convenience to your life. Oh, when it makes enough convenience to your life, says Rabbi Zalman, that's machatech. But in the case of toilet paper, it makes enough convenience to your life, it's a piece more, a piece less. I'm not talking about in yeshiva, obviously, where you're trying to be careful on mom and shal hekdesh of yeshiva money. I don't use an extra piece that doesn't belong to me, to savada. But I'm talking about in a regular case, Dovi, yeah? No, maskim it doesn't ruin your life. It's not going to ruin your day, right? And you maskim, you're still going to be happy. You're always going to be happy, Baruch Hashem. But Lamaisa, you're still going to be okay because at the end of the day, it's not going to make a difference. It's not machatich. Again, like I said, many gedolim hold that it is. What about them? That you ask a different shayla. We're not even discussing right now. It's not Koreya because it's hard. I mentioned it. One has to ask his local Orthodox rabbi when it comes to shaylas like that. Okay. Okay. Right now we're on air, so we can't discuss it. But off air, maybe we can. Let's move on, Rabbi Say. You should know that someone at Taina. This pashtus is the Tiferes Yisrael and the Kel Shabbos and the Aruch HaShulchan, and the Vosna Shevet Halevi passes this way Halacha L'Maisa, that even if you rip toilet paper not on the lines, that's machatich, because you're taking the amount that you need. That's called machatich, which is a massive chumrah, which comes out that even if I'm not doing it on the lines, not on the perforated lines, that's called machatich, because this is how much I need. So therefore, it's machatich. Who told you machatich means a beautiful, clean line? It can be anything that you need in a specific side. Very interesting. So what do you do? I mean, lemaisa, right? We have to discuss this. What happens if a person is in the toilet on Shabbos Kodesh and there is only a roll of toilet paper, right? What does he do in that case? So the only eitzah really would be is really to do it with the shinoi. To do it with the shinoi. Take your two elbows and try to rip it, not on the perforated lines. Then you've got the poskim who hold, like most poskim, that it's only machatech on the lines. Then if it's not on the lines, you say to yourself machatech, you got a problem of Koreya, klachayad, in a situation of covered abrias, you could be makel. Okay, is that clear? Agav, by the way, Agav also understand as well, many poskim hold that a roll of toilet paper is muktzah. It's actually muktzah, even if you're not touching, even if you're not doing anything with it. Moving a roll of toilet paper is muktzah, not sumeya. Why is it muktzah? Why is it muktzah? There's no use for it. Not only that, the only usage is alidei what? Alidei issa. What's the issa? Koreya, machatich. So anything that's whole usage, the whole yisoid of the item is alidei issa, it's going to be muktzah. Okay? You should. There are those that hold it's not really muktzah because b'mokum, covered up brias doesn't make. There's no mokum to be makel, so maybe it's not. But I might most hold that it is in that case over there. Rabbi say now. Gewaldig. A great shaila. I asked this Tagoina Gudlu B'Sun Orbach Shlita. I asked him the following shaila. What happens if you go into a shul that unfortunately people didn't come to the halacha shein yeshiva? Nebuch. It's very, very sad. It's very, very sad. But the pashas there are posheya, not anoinus. But we're not going to go into now what they will be getting for that. But I'll if they don't come to halacha shein yeshiva, then they don't know the halachas. And you go to such a place and you go to such a toilet, and in such a toilet they have a roll of toilet paper. Do you have an obligation to remove it? You put it in your pocket, you walk out with it. Now they can't use it. Oh, because you know how to touch it. That's cute. I hear. Let's say it's before Shabbos, I don't know. Should I take it out? So Rabbi Zil told me no. He told me not to. He said, because Rabbi said there are coolers, there are covered abrias, there are situations that are mutter, so you don't have to take it out. Rabbi said, let's move on. Okay? Very interesting shayla now. Opening up an envelope. Now you have to understand, opening up an envelope nowadays probably isn't such a big shayla. I don't know how many people get post on a Shabbos that I must open this up. But in the olden days, letters were very, very, very important. They were rare. People got them. It meant something very important was inside there, and maybe information that was very, very important. So opening up a envelope or something was something very, very chashuv. There's a modik of Pri Chodesh, Rabbi say. There's a Pri Chodesh in Yehudaism, the Kufit Chesikot and Dalet. The Pri Chodesh tells us that if a person opens up an envelope, it is considered to be Koreya midda oraisa. He's over an issa d'oraisa of Koreya, not a kilkul. When you open up an envelope, how do you open up an envelope? You can rip it open even. That's an Issa. So why? It's not a kilkul, it's a tikkun. And if it's a tikkun, it's going to be Issa. As I personally Pri Chodesh. Zog the Heilige Chacham Tzvi, in Chelik Aleph, in the Simon Lamates, the Chacham Tzvi says an amazing thing. What does he say? He said, I saw this brand new sefer, I guess it's a pun, a brand new sefer pre-Chodosh. That's what the Chacham Tzvi writes. That holds its osa even through a goy to open up an envelope. And he says, Vuhu tois gomo, mistake. And so the Chacham Tzvi on the pre-Chodosh. Push a mistake. And how can he write such a thing? How can he write such a thing? You're not attacking the actual paper, the envelope. Come on. As that's what he says. Lemaisa, the Be'alocha, the Heilige Chovetz Chaim Schus, and Yogan Alayni, in Semen Shin Mem, brings down both Svaras, also the pre-Chodosh, and also, who is it? Chacham Tzvi. And the Mishnah Berurah is Machmeh. Chovetz Chaim is Machmeh. Chovetz Chaim is Machmeh because he says that the Ma'aseh says the tikkun to get inside the envelope to get to my letter, whatever it is, and therefore it's a problem. Interesting enough, the Chazon Ish is Machal. Listen to this. 1 second. The Chazon Ish says, do you know the older? I don't know if you guys remember this. Do you remember the airmail letters? I'm talking Chinese. You know, remember that? I remember writing these things and getting them and sending them. Beautiful. It was like one piece of paper. You folded it into 3, and on the side had these tabs that you licked and you closed it. That was the letter. The envelope was the letter. It wasn't an envelope that was fancy already. Envelope with a piece of paper inside. The envelope was the letter. You understand what I'm saying? One piece of paper, you ended up folded it, and it had tabs, and you stuck it on, and you sent it that way. I've probably still got them at home. Beautiful. And so the Chazon Ish says, in that case, that's much worse. Why? Because when you open up an airmail, that's the malacha shetzricha legufa. I need to open it in order to get to the letter itself. Masha engeni taina is the envelope, but etzem is a kilkul. No, I need to get inside the letter for the actual piece of paper. There's maybe more of a mokim to be a makel in that case. But again, like I said, it's going to be asa, and therefore a person, we have to be careful. What you do have to mention as well, by the way, is whenever you're being makalkal the item and it's a tzorich of food purposes, then it's generally mutter. Right? This is a random mafurish. That if, for example, a person has a package of paper cups, plastic cups. Now he wants to open them. How do you open them? You're being Koreya the packaging. You're ripping open the plastic cup in order to get to the plastic cup. It's number one, it's a kilkul. I'm being makalkalit. I'm not tearing it in a constructive way. It's not amanas litva ula sakin because I'm not using it again. I don't need the package and I need to get in. It's soyach achila. There's a mokum to be makel. Is that clear? That's a very important heter I just told you. Okay? Hope you remember that one. Let's move on, Rabbi Yisai. Okay? 2 last shaylas of today. Question number 1. Very interesting shayla. Yodua, everyone here knows the halachos of hatmana. I'm assuming, right? We've all gone through it. Mistama, Masechta Shabbos, Perekira, goes through Barichas. That when you take, for example, Kishka. Let's take, for example, you have Kishka. And it's immersed in the Heilige Schulent. Now, there's a problem of hatmana. Without going into all the details, you guys here know the details already, right? But what happens if I have a problem? It's hatmana. So how do I get out of it? What's the way of getting out of the shayla? Don't put it in. Okay, good, right? They always used to tell us that. I remember when I was saying my chavusa, we used to people used to come over with different shaylas and we were like, okay, so just don't do it. Right? No. That's not the answer to the shayla. That's getting out of the shayla. We want to know what to do. Lemaisa. Huh? What do you do? Rabotai, what do you do? Shleimana, what do you do? What's the eitzah? Your Beis Yaakov Kala is going to ask you this question on a shidduch date. What are you going to tell her? Next. No, what are you going to say? Dovinu. I love this. I didn't answer my phone on Shabbos. It's a problem, eh? What do you do? It's very simple. Levi Yitzchak, what do? You poke holes in it. If you poke holes in the container in the aluminum foil, there's no problem because that's one Michael. It's not being hatzmon, it's not insulated by itself. Are you allowed to do that on Shabbos? I'm allowed to poke holes on Shabbos into the, to perforate, to make. That's beautiful. Do it before Shabbos, right? Reb Chaim Kanievsky told everyone to do it with a basketball also. Put it in before Shabbos. I'm talking about Rabbi Sai. It wasn't done on Shabbos Kodesh. What do I do l'alach l'maisa? Gavaldige shayla, Rabbi Sai. So Dain Fisher, that's how Paskin, that's Koreya Manas the second, it's also the Reisa. You're not allowed to do it. You're not allowed to do it. Reb Nissen Kerel, it's tainas that it's a vadamota. There's no problem because it's not Koreya. Because I'm not doing it to be Koreya, I'm doing it to leave the kishka and the cholent. But Amai says that when Nissen Kerel, it's a problem of tikkun mana. Because the mana shak is stuck. So therefore, Rabbi say, don't do it on Shabbos. Last shayla of the day, and of the whole Yesod. Combing a shaitel. Very common shaila. Very common shaila, not by you guys, but in Mitzvah Hashem. Your wife's going to ask you this question. No, you went to yeshiva. What do you say about this? I don't know. I think it's okay. Yeah, it's probably okay. Everyone does it. It must be okay. Right? That's the head, right? Everyone does it. It must be okay. Right? Everyone eats at their restaurant. It's got to be fine, right? Everyone eats there. The guy with the beard was eating there. It must be okay, right? Anyway, the kitza, that's a combing a shaitel. So combing a shaitel is not like combing your hair. We're all familiar with the Shulchan Aruch at the end of Simon. Hello? Shem Gimel. That says that if you comb your hair on Shabbos, right, it's going into the Gemara in Nosed Mem Gimel that says that if you comb your hair, you're over on Geizes, because it's a growing eye thing, but in your shaitel it's not growing. Don't get me started with the new type. Anyway, Al Kaponim, combing the shaitel is vade not Geizes, right? The problem is, say the poskim, is it might be a shaitel of Koreya. It might be a shaitel of sosa also, because you're destroying something, but it might also be a shaitel with Koreya. The same thing, by the way, Levi Yitzchak with the Heilige Shtaramel. Pashas Zel Bazach, you've got to be very, very careful that you don't take out the hair. It could be a shaitel of Koreya. Could be, it's not Koreya, maybe it's considered to be, like I said, could be a shaitel of sosa, because you're being sosa, you are demolishing something. Okay, so I think we've talked about generally the main principles of Koreya. The Siyata Dishmaya, the Rebbeinu Shalom will give us a lot of Siyata Dishmaya to understand these halachas, to keep these halachas. The more we learn about these things, the more sensitivity we have to halacha b'Siyata Dishmaya. And this is probably going to be the last halacha shit that we have of this month of the year, because there's a few more other shurim coming up of different subjects, Be'ez Hashem. But in Mitzvah Hashem, we should all be zoicha b'Siyata Dishmaya to show the Rebbeinu Shalom that we love Shabbos, we want to keep Shabbos, and our attendance of the shir shows the Rebbeinu Shalom that not only do we want Shabbos, but we want to keep every detail of Shabbos, and it's chashuv to us, it's important to us, and all of you should be zoicha b'Siyata Dishmaya to know Hilchos Shabbos, to keep Hilchos Shabbos, and ultimately to love the Shabbos Kodesh. Have a wonderful day.